Fennville Middle School. It's sports week, and today I have for you some agility training and some core training. We're going to start with the agility. Agility, the ability to be agile means that you can move quickly and easily on your feet, which is useful in literally every single sport, maybe with the exception of golf. But pretty much every other sport that we participate in at school, especially, we need to be agile athletes. So, for the first demonstration that we're going to give you, you basically, if you have it, need a tape measure. Sidewalk chalk or tape will work also, as long as you can stick it to your floor. Make sure you ask your parents, okay? Or a really long measuring device, maybe a ruler, if you want to make straight lines, like I attempted. So the first piece of equipment that you probably don't have, I don't have one at home. We've got some at school, I know, in the different buildings for athletics, but you can create your own ladder for agility movements, which is what I have drawn here with that chalk and my measuring tools, devices. A typical ladder is about 15 feet in length. That's from one end to the other. And then the spacing width-wise and the rungs, how far apart they should be, is about 20 inches. Okay? It doesn't have to be exactly that, so you can guesstimate. You just want it to be challenging but not too difficult, so you don't actually want to stick with it and get better. Okay? So the next step is to show you some basic progressions for agility, and you can do these as frequently as you like to. Usually for our athletes, we go through a couple times in a particular, I guess, foot pattern before we move on to the next one. Mastery is helpful. So you're trying to be quick with your feet, but you're also trying to be precise in your feet placement. So we're going to demonstrate a couple of those. All right, the first demonstration we have is a routine called Hopscotch. It's pretty similar to typical hopscotch, a little variation. We go a double hop, and then our right foot in the next square, and then a double hop, and then our left foot, and then we repeat that down and back. Mr. Best is going to demonstrate for you. It's all right. Nice job. All right, our next progression is called the in, out. And Colton's going to demonstrate that for you. It's these are single hops, so you can go right. You can start with your right or your left. What we found is that if you are left-handed, then you probably predominantly start these, I guess, progressions with your right foot instead of your left, because like in basketball, you're probably catching the ball on the hop, starting with your right foot and following with your left, and it's the opposite if you are, if you're right-handed. You usually start with your left foot and follow with your right. So either way is fine as long as you're consistent. So Colton's going to show us in, out. Go back. Woo! Nice job. Quick feet, Kojo. Good work. Okay. Okay, the next series of agility moves on the ladder we call vertical jumps. We're moving up the ladder, facing the end of the ladder. Okay? Braden's going to demonstrate for, did you say height or speed, Braden?
I said speed.
He's going to demonstrate how to do this for speed. We are double hopping as quickly as we can down and back. Whenever you're ready, man. Woo! Look at those feet. Nice job. Okay, Mr. Best is going to demonstrate how we do vertical jumps for height. We want to see how high we can get before touching down into the next square. So it's like you're jumping over a hurdle. You're jumping something that is as tall as your waist, or maybe even higher, depending on how you can jump. Nice job. Still got it.
All right, everybody, the next one is called Lateral Feet. Mrs. Best is going to demonstrate how to do this one. And here we go. Oh, and kept it together at the
The second set of exercises for agility we call agility dots. The dots that I put down on our cement are from top to bottom. The dots are 3 feet apart, and then from left to right, they're 2 feet apart. So obviously the center dot is dead center. This is probably the furthest apart you want your dots to be when we're doing these agility exercises. The closer together the dots are, the easier it's going to make it for you. So if you've never done this before, you probably want to put your dots closer together. You can use tape, especially if you have carpeting. Tape that's not going to make sticky messes on your carpet, but that's really a good thing that you can do inside instead of chalk, obviously. But starting with your dots closer together is more beneficial, and then as you master these, you can spread your dots out to challenge yourself. So we're going to show you a couple of different dot routines. Okay, Mr. Best is going to demonstrate what we call up and back. Okay, you can do it as many times as you want to, but starting either at the bottom or the top, you want to go up and then back down, and that's usually considered 1. Usually, I mean, if you were to look these up, they would say to do each progression about 5 times each, but you want to do it at your level and always aim to get better. Okay, so that was up and back. Okay, the next series is single foot, so you want to make sure that you do both left and right, but obviously you're just going to do one at a time. So Mr. Best is going to start on his right foot, and he's only going to jump off of his right foot for this series. All right. Switch feet. Nicely done. Okay, you can use patterns in terms of like what dot you step on. Whatever you do, be consistent. So make sure you're not cheating yourself out of a dot. All right, Colton's gonna show us both feet how to do this routine. Same idea, you wanna hit all the dots and go around them all 1 time before you move on to the next for your number 2, all the way to 5 if you're doing 5. Are you ready? Okay, quicker. Nice work. You're good. Good job, Coach.
Okay, Mrs. Best can show us our last dot progression. This is called the spin.
About to get the spins.
All right, there you go. Wow, a little dizzy.
So the second part of this particular YouTube video today is agility and core. Core is basically what controls your movement in the center of your body. So it's your abs, your lower back, your hips, basically everything at the core of your body. And it's important to have a strong core in athletics, in sports, in life in general. If you can control your core, then you can control the movements of your other appendages. So we're going to show you some pretty basic core exercises. planking or doing different variations on planks have become very popular because they reduce the stress on your spine and your lower back. So we're going to show you, Braden's going to show you a forearm plank, and I'm going to show you a side plank. Planks are duration. So the longer you can do hold the plank, I guess the more work you're doing for your core. But you want to make sure that your form is accurate, and otherwise you're going to probably hurt yourself, or it's going to hurt afterwards. So it's important to, pull your abs towards your belly button, or pull your belly button towards your spine. You want to flex your core, your abs like that. But it's also important to keep a straight body and a relaxed neck. So Braden's going to show you a forearm plank, and I'm going to show you a side plank.
Braden's gonna have his head up. Alright, there we go. And Mrs. Best has a side plank, arm up in the air, and she can also twist if she feels like it. That adds a little bit of a challenge. Trying to maintain that balance as you go. Okay, Braden's gonna try to lift his butt up a little bit. That's better. Okay, and there you have it. Front plank and side plank. You're gonna hold these for about a minute a piece. And side planks you can do 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and then rotate. They're a little bit more difficult.
Okay, the next core exercise, my chiropractor actually suggested that I do when I started running again last summer. It's called dead bug, and the idea is that you're actually using your brain, also your muscle control, to strengthen your core and think about your arms and legs at the same time. So it's a little bit of a mind trick. So you lay flat on your back, you bring your legs and your arms straight up, and you're flexing your core, keeping your back flat on the ground, holding, okay, your lower back's flat. And then you extend your right leg and your left arm, controlling your other arm and leg, and then bring it back up. And then the opposite arm and leg, and bring it back up.
I'm gonna go as low and long as possible, but not touching the ground.
Both arm and leg there, Kojo. And you can do this, you could do it 10 times on each side, or you could do it for a set amount of time. Just kind of depends on what your goal is. Okay, this next core exercise is called Hallow Hold. You're the opposite as a plank, obviously, closer to like dead bug, but you raise your legs up and you lift your shoulders off the ground, making sure not to strain your neck, and you reach your arms out. So you can hold this kind of like a plank, anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute, 2 minutes and a half, 2 minutes or longer. But the lower your legs are, they should be straight, the harder it is on your core. So it's definitely more challenging when your legs are lower versus when they're higher up. So holding that, the Hallow Hold, making sure your back is flat, the small of your back is flat against the ground. Okay, the last one is probably the favorite, especially if you were in middle school running club with Mr. Best, is called Superman's. This ended every single core routine. So you lay flat on your belly, you can time it or you can count. You put your arms kind of straight in front of you and your legs back, and you flex your core and raise everything off the ground except for, I guess you'd say, your hips and maybe your lower abdomen for maybe 15-20 seconds, and then rest, and then come back up. And you want to keep your legs straight and your core flexed, and then you lower for as long as you want. Alright guys, that's your agility and core, some suggestions for routines. Modify anything, put those dots closer together, do any variation of those ladders, and maybe videotape yourselves and send that to Mr. Potts and let us know how it's going. Thanks guys, hope you're doing well.